Hey, everybody. How are you doing? Pray that you are doing
Hello.
well. Happy
Yes.
Tuesday. We hope that you are having a wonderful time and welcome to Church Girl Rants. Yes, I am your
Yay.
host,
Yay.
Cheryl Thomas, and this is in the middle. In the middle, it's Chrissy. And then on the end,
It's Sharon, known as Petra.
yes, that's our Peter of the group. We are so excited to have you all join us on tonight. And if you were just on Instagram Live with us, let us know in the comments so that we can shout you out and say thank you for joining us on our first Instagram Live as a
Yes.
show so that we can, give you props and say you were the first. Yes, you were the first. Hey, Carla, thanks so much for joining. Glad to have
Hey,
you.
Carla.
Hello.
Hey, Phaedra, thanks so much for
Hello.
joining.
Hey, Sister Hill, in Jesus' name. No.
We are so glad to have you all here on tonight. We have a juicy topic on tonight. We're going to be talking about,
Yes.
is he the one? Anybody
Mm,
ever asked that
Mm.
question of the Lord? Lord,
yes.
is this him? Right here, this man.
Look,
Is this him?
oh, look, do like they asked John. Is this him or should I look for another?
Should we look for another?
Yeah, that's
Should we
that's
just
good.
roll on with the
Yeah. Should we roll on out and be like, okay, yeah, y'all good.
say, y'all man, I got it wrong again. Okay, and it's time for our question of the day. So our question of the
Woo-hoo.
day, yes, is going to go along with um, our topic on tonight of, Lord, is this him? So what I want to know is, have you ever been wrong more than once about that question? When you ask the
Mm,
Lord, is this him? Have you ever been wrong?
yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I was
Yeah.
wrong
I
so
mean,
many
real wrong.
times. Like
Yep.
Like,
heartbreak wrong. Like
yeah,
Yep.
like,
he had all the
like,
signs.
look, they were all written out, all the signs. He was
All
holding
of
them
them.
up and
Every
everything.
single one.
It-
He looked so much like the one.
Right, right. He
oh
walked,
my gosh.
talked, everything like it was actually the one, and it was
Absolutely.
actually the two. It was not the one, it was the
Oh my Lord.
it was
Right.
the two.
Robin said broke her own heart.
Yeah, that part.
Oh my Lord.
Hey
Hey,
Kim.
Robin. Hey, Kim.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I have been now, and I'm gonna give this disclaimer on this one time, y'all. I knew I was right, right? I knew this was the one. There were so many uncanny things that kept happening that we were like, "Ooh, this could nobody do this but the Lord."
Right,
Yeah.
right.
This
Yeah.
got to be him. It's got his fingerprints all on it.
Mm-mm.
And Robin, this
Yeah.
was the one that it broke my heart because when I said I was so wrong, like
Wow.
so wrong, like do you spend time with Jesus wrong? Clearly he could he should he was telling you something. You
Oh
missed
my
all the
Look,
gosh.
signs.
look. You tapped into the wrong spirit.
The wrong
Yeah.
spirit. It was the wrong spirit.
Yes. Oh my God.
But I
Because
recovered.
Jesus.
I recovered.
She said she
yeah,
recovered.
look by the hair of my chinny chin chin.
I am here today, healed and whole.
Oh my gosh.
But here's the thing though, guys. What I'm thinking about, even though they were the wrong person, was it so wrong? Or did we actually learn something? Was that
Oh,
our learning time? You know, we may look at it from the perspective that, it was the wrong person and everything. But at the same time, consider the wisdom. Consider the
Absolutely.
wisdom that we gain. Consider the fact that we found out something about ourselves. So, even though, that was not the one or the two or the three,
Or the seven, or the eight.
or the or the 100th, but what did we learn?
Right.
So do we have to look at it as being wrong, or can we just look at it as I was having a wilderness moment and that was for preparation?
It was wrong. Now,
Dead
okay,
wrong.
it was wrong, but like you said, I learned so much through that experience. I learned how easy it was for me to overlook red flags because my
Yeah,
emotions were involved. And
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
God kept showing me things, but I just kept overlooking them. And so
yeah,
it showed me how to not overlook the unction of God.
Yeah.
That when he's speaking, like, listen, dummy. He's trying to help you, all right? Just listen to her, like, just, pay attention.
look, hello,
Like,
hello.
how many times? And because I wouldn't listen,
Oh God, I
he
get
had
it
to
today.
let the person break my heart because I wouldn't listen. Now, if I had
Ooh.
listened, I might not, I
Mm,
would have still been hurt, but I don't think I would have been as hurt. But
right.
yeah, so I learned how to walk in the spirit. Yes,
How
Chrissy.
about this? I ended up getting a prophetic word in the middle of a church
Whoa.
service
You
Mhm.
about
got a
this one
prophetic word when?
gentleman. I got a the in the middle in the middle of the church service when the prophet at this revival was praying. He offered over the offering, and in the middle of the offering, he had everybody stretching their hands towards the basket. And I'm standing there because I'm thinking about this new guy that's in my life. The man stops in the middle of praying, and everybody, the whole audience got their hands stretched. And he says, "The guy that's in your life right now won't be in your life for long." And then he goes back to praying.
Now, but you know what? God love you.
Yes,
God
honey.
love you. He said,
He
I need you
really
to
does.
stop this prayer and save this sister.
In the middle of it. In the
That's
That's
the
middle
because
love of
of
God.
it.
That man said,
I didn't
Yes,
forget
even
this
know.
honey.
offering.
I didn't even know how to read that. So at least I do think I can say God has really just pointed it out, because even before I married my husband at the time, we were at a church service, and the woman that night, she looked, and I'm
Mm.
excited because I'm engaged to be married, and the men over there praying for him, and she looked at me, and this lady just preached. Boy, she was good. She looked at me, and she looked over him, and she looked back. She said, "You gonna have a hard marriage." I said, "The devil is a liar," but she was right.
It wasn't the
Mm.
devil.
Th- no. That's what you look. I tell you, you have to know the difference between a
You too.
prophetic word and a
Yes.
pathetic word. There's a
That
Right.
difference.
part. That part.
There's a difference between a prophetic and a pathetic. You
Yes.
Yeah.
know deep down in your shanana when it's a pathetic word and
Yes.
when it's a prophetic word.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes our emotions, they
Yep.
get the best of
Mm,
us,
And we
and
overlook it
we
all.
don't want to hear that. Who wants to hear,
yeah,
who, when they are engaged and you're getting ready to get married, who wants to hear that you're going to have a
Yeah.
hard marriage?
You're
Nobody
gonna
wants
have
to
a
hear
hard
that.
marriage, especially
Nobody.
from a
yeah.
highly anointed woman of God that you just really enjoyed her message.
Right.
Really.
I really
And
don't
then
like
she
you
hit me
now.
with that.
Look,
I said,
you ain't
if you
called.
So you didn't,
Look,
you wasn't that good.
flesh and blood reveal that.
You just alright.
Look,
oh
you went in
God.
the spirit. That was flesh and blood.
See,
Yeah,
that's what I
Look,
was
anointing had
saying.
lifted.
That's what I was
the anointing has gone off your life.
Yes,
Oh my
it had
God.
lifted. It was gone. But even in those those instances, it shows God's love for us, even when we are
Yeah.
doing things that He knows are against His will and that are going to hurt us and that we'll regret. He's going to give us a warning, and then He's going to let us have our way.
Yes.
He's going to let
That
us
is
have our
true.
way. And so,
And he will.
yeah, yeah. So I didn't see anybody in the comments let us know whether they had missed it, but you all can let us know if you've ever thought a man was the one and
Yeah.
been just totally wrong. And no, actually, Robin did. She did say, but the
Mm-hmm.
rest of y'all can chime in too to let us know. Have you ever missed it? But I have another question I want to pose. Um, Over the last probably 10, 15 years, we've been hearing soulmates, soulmates. Everybody's talking about, I just want
Mm-hmm.
God to bring my soulmate to me, the one that's specifically for me. How do you all feel about soulmates? Do you think that there is one person in the earth that God has handpicked just for you? One person. Let me know how you feel about that.
Go ahead,
Well,
Chrissy.
you know what? I used to think that way, but then I started saying, well, maybe it'll end up being two or three. Two, I'm at least say two, because some people end up with one person for a certain part of their life, have children, and those children were meant to be here, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then that part of their life ends, and then God connects them with someone else. So I mean, I don't know, but that's how I look at it. Because several people and I think it was Torrey Roberts,
Mm-hmm.
Sarah Jake's husband, that I was listening to him when he talked about the whole soulmate thing. And it was a real good message. And
Mm-hmm.
because he was saying too that sometimes you'll miss it, but this person really is for you. He said he had chemistry with a lot of people. And we
Mm-hmm.
will. We'll all have chemistry
Yeah.
and with so many people, all
Right.
like all the right things, and yet that person not be who you're supposed to be with.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Right.
so you have to make sure that you're not gonna miss it by just two, especially just looking at the physical appearance. You got to
Right.
make sure, because some people, I just said this and I was gonna post it the other night. Don't fall in love. Don't fall in love with the outside appearance. You need to fall in love with their
Yes.
mind, body, and their soul. Because if you could fall
Yeah.
in love with the mind, body, and soul, it's going to be different because our looks can fade. Things can
Yes.
change overnight.
Correct.
That's so
One
true.
spouse can end up in an accident, lose a leg or a limb.
Right.
So you
Right.
got to fall
Correct.
in love with their mind, body, and soul, and not just the physical appearance.
That's true. That's
Correct.
true.
Correct.
Awesome. What do you think,
I
Sharon?
I definitely agree with what Chrissy said. But on top of that, if it were just one, that means, and I'm going to come from the perspective of where I am as a
Right.
widow, that would mean that I only get that one chance.
Right. Right.
And that I don't get another chance as a widow, or
Yeah.
That's so
someone who
true.
is widowed. That means that we only get that one chance, and how fair is that?
Right.
uh
Yeah.
that's
Exactly.
that's not fair at all to say that, that we only get that one chance. Most of us are not looking for our spouses to pass away or transition or what have you.
That's true.
It is just life. It is just what
Yeah.
happens, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so
Yes.
to say that, you only get that opportunity one time, I don't think that that's true at all. I think that you get more than one opportunity. And so as far as a soulmate is concerned,
Hmm.
that we have to remember that the soul is talking about your mind, your psyche.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Right.
So are you
Yeah.
mated with somebody who clothed in their right mind?
That's important.
That is a
That's
good
very important.
one.
You know, are you going to be
Very.
mated with somebody who has the mind of Christ? Are
Right.
you going to be mated with somebody who let this mind be in you that was also in Christ Jesus? You know what I'm saying? So are you going to be mated with somebody like that? But here's the thing that I've always thought about, though, guys, is that the same word mate
Mm.
also has other words in it. So
Mm-hmm.
the word
True.
team, come
Okay.
on. Oh, that
Mm-hmm.
thing is good. Team is also
Mm-hmm.
in the
Yes.
word mate.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we're supposed to be. we're supposed to
Yep.
be a team. Okay. And then also the word meet is in there, MEAT. So
Mm-hmm.
that means that we're supposed to be fulfilling to one another. Oh, that was good, God. Come on, God. Oh,
Yeah.
I want it tonight.
Preach, Sharon, preach.
She get high off her own juice. All right, girl.
Look, I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to give myself my cash app. I'm gonna have to give myself my cash app.
I can see her
No,
in the middle of a sermon. I can see her in the
Right,
middle of a sermon
right.
doing just like that.
that part right there. Look, invite me to your church. I'm available. No, I'm teasing. But anyway, the word meat and meat fills us up. It
Oh,
really
I'll be
does.
writing this
And
down.
Mm-hmm.
so those are the words that we experience when we're talking about a soul mate. We have team, we have meat, we need to be fulfilled, and
Mm-hmm.
we need to be able to be a
Mm.
team
Right.
together.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
true.
that's how we get made. But that means that our minds have to come together.
Right.
Because that's the soul. The soul is our psyche. It's what we
So
think. It's
true.
what we feel. It's our character.
Mm-hmm.
So on and so forth. So yeah, that's where I am.
That's good.
All right. And for me, when people really started initially talking about soulmates, I was like, oh,
Hmm.
there's one person, there's one person that God has uniquely designed just for me, and so I'm going to be looking and praying for that one person. But as I went on in life, I was like, I don't know if I agree that there is just
Mm.
Right.
one person. And I was talking to
Right.
one of my mentors, and she told me, she said, Cheryl, this is how God is going to present men to you.
Mm.
And He's going to give you opportunity to say yes or no. He's not going to
Hmm.
make you marry them. They're going to be good
Mm.
men that you can have a great life with. So He's going to present to you men that would be good for
Yeah.
you. You make the decision. If you don't choose that one man, that doesn't mean that he won't present another man to you. Like, here's another option. He's a good
Yeah.
man.
Hmm.
Because we have to remember that marriage is an earthly institution.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
when she said that, it took a lot of pressure off of me because I was feeling so pressured. Like, well, what if I mess it up? What if I say the wrong thing? And da 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 da. All of these things because I'm prone to mess it up. I could at any given chance I could say the wrong thing, but the man for me is gonna be okay because he gonna know who I am. But anyway, so that helped me see that God presents to us opportunities. He
Yeah.
presents to us
Yeah.
great men. And one of the things that
Yeah.
I love that she used to always say, she said, Cheryl, queens choose their king.
I like that.
Mm.
Queens
Yeah.
choose their king. The choice is yours. Even if he asks you to marry him, you have a decision. You can say yay or nay. Nobody
Yeah.
can force you
Correct.
into marriage. So, and when she said that, I was like, you know what? I have been giving the decision making ability away. I've been waiting to
Correct.
be
Hmm.
chosen instead of thinking I get to choose.
Choose.
So
Yeah.
I've been
Very
giving that over
selfish.
to men like I'm waiting for him to choose me. No, I get to choose. You can choose me,
Right.
but I don't have to choose you.
Correct.
Yes.
And
Correct.
so, but it freed me in a lot of ways from having to this rushed mentality or this
Yeah.
fear based mentality that I had to always kind of do everything right, because I told y'all I'm a recovering perfectionist. So it freed me from like thinking
She did not say her
Oh God.
I'm a
recovery.
recovering perfectionist. Like
Oh.
everything had to be exactly right. And so now I can just be me and know that the man that God has for me is going to accept all those little idiosyncrasies about me and he's going to be okay with it. And I'm going to accept all the little idiosyncrasies about him and I'll be okay with it. But it took
Correct.
that pressure off from me like, oh, Lord, I done messed that one up. There goes my opportunity. It's gone
Yeah.
now. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
it,
And that's the thing that I love though is that when you are with that right person, you don't have to have that perfection.
right,
You don't have
So
to,
true.
send in your representative.
right.
I know people that are like, "Oh my God, I cannot do this in front of, the guy I'm with, or I cannot say this, or I have to act this way, or I always have to have on a pump and
Hmm.
be, dressed to the nines and things of
Yes.
that nature." When are you going to be you? So my whole thing
Absolutely.
is you will come in my life knowing that I like Converse.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just a given. You you're gonna come in my life knowing that I like Converse. Does that mean that I will not put on a mean pump? No, that doesn't mean that at all. But at the
Hmm.
end of the day, I'm gonna show you who I really am. Yes, she
Yeah.
said recovering, Leslie. Recovering.
You see how
That
my
means she's
sisters do
still a
me?
work in process.
Exactly.
And that's the truth. She never lie. That's the truth.
I'm
I
still a work in
have
Oh
to
I'm
keep
my
still a work in
reminding
God.
progress.
myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cheryl,
So,
I was thinking about
I
Cheryl.
just think that
Oh Lord.
we as ladies sometimes are so hard on ourselves.
Yes. Yes.
We
That would
are
be me.
really, really, yeah, we are really hard on ourselves, and we don't see ourselves the way God sees us, because if God tells us come as you are, basically,
Right.
Hmm.
then why do we think that we need to, fix it up, make it up, pump it up, and everything else for, that earthly person? Why can't we just come as we are to
True.
whomever God is going to send to us in our
Yeah.
lives?
Yeah.
That's
That's
true.
what I think. So
Yeah.
I was glad my husband accepted all of my craziness. I mean,
That's so true.
so look, bonnets and all.
Bonnets and all. All right now.
Oh God.
Yes, because look, I did wear a scarf at my house going to bed. Yes, I did.
And we all do.
However,
It
uh-huh,
But
right.
that's
But I'm
different
saying,
at home.
yeah,
is.
but here's the thing though, even some wives do not allow their husbands to see them in bonnets and
That's
scarves.
true. They don't. They don't.
Oh,
They don't do that,
that's gonna happen.
Now
And they
if
wear makeup to bed. Some of them wear
and they
makeup
were
too. They want to
correct,
always look
That ain't gonna happen.
correct.
perfection.
Right.
Oh,
Now
God.
you are more than welcome to take off the bonnet and the scarf if you just need to. Praise.
But it's gonna start that way.
Okay.
I hear
It's gonna
you.
start that way.
He
Oh
Yeah.
my
said it
God.
might
Yeah.
end up different, but it's gonna start.
It might end up real different, but it's gonna start that way.
And this was interesting. I was watching a young lady talk about. She was talking about the ways that women repel men, not repel men, but the things that we do that cause us not to be approachable. That's a better way to say that. Cause us
Hmm.
us not to be approachable. And it was funny. One of the things, and I didn't realize it until she said it. She said one of the things is what we think is approachable, men find differently. And she talked about
Mm,
how when she is in her sweats, baseball cap, she gets hit on a lot more than when she is dressed to the nines, makeup on. Because she says, when I'm dressed to the nines, makeup on, I appear unapproachable to them because they think I am maybe high maintenance. They maybe think they may not be able to
yeah.
afford to be with me. But she says, when I'm
Yeah.
the same chick kicking it at the grocery store and, in my Converse, in my little
That part.
windbreaker, no makeup
Mm-hmm.
on, she said, they're like coming like, like nobody's business. I said, well, Lord, do
Yeah.
I need to change up? But it's like that for me too. If I'm in the grocery store on just a run, I will
Yeah.
get more attention than when I am, let's say, at a function like flossing, like looking like
Yeah.
real good. So I was like, well,
Mm-hmm.
and that had
That's
never
true.
occurred to me before,
That's true.
that it could be intimidation because of the way I'm presenting myself. Maybe that's why they wearing bonnets. I'm just being.
I don't. It could be. I mean,
That is
I would
that is
like to
not the
know. I
reason.
mean, hey,
It is
because
not. But
you
it fit
never
there
know.
so good as a
Maybe
joke.
they are hooking the men. Maybe they are hooking the men with the bonnets.
Yeah,
Praise the
but
Lord.
hooking them to do what?
Right. Right. You want the
Now,
right hook.
you
Yeah,
Uh,
want the
yeah.
right. Come on now, that's a sermon right there. You want the right hook.
The right hook.
the right one. Because what you serving
Oh
out,
God.
you don't want to reel that in.
Yeah.
No.
You don't want to reel
Mm-mm.
that in.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. S- So I think that we have to begin to look at ourselves and say, hey, I love what you said, Cheryl, about understanding that I have a choice in the matter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to just say, oh well, since he's here and he asks, I guess that means I need to move forward with him. No.
Right.
That would be a no. You know, I'm able to
Yeah.
say no because I promise you, when my husband first told me that I was going to be his wife, I said, well, Jesus didn't reveal that to me, so that's a no.
No.
Thank you. So I don't know who you're hearing,
You know,
but until he
because
does.
yeah,
You know,
we were only dating for 2 months. We were only dating for
okay.
2 months, and he said, God
But he
revealed
knew.
that you're going to be my wife. And I was like, well, God didn't reveal that to me. I'm sorry. Mm-mm. No, that was flesh and blood. That was gas.
That
That
was
was
not
not
the
God.
Lord.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
that was gas, baby. You just need to get it out, belch a little bit.
Oh
You'll be all right.
no. My poor fella. Poor thing.
He held on though, baby. But that's what I'm saying. Even even when you get an answer like that, if
Mm,
you know that's the one, if he knows that's the one,
right.
Mm-hmm.
he's going to persevere. He's
Mm-hmm.
going to keep coming. He
Right.
he didn't give up. He kept calling. He
Mm-hmm.
kept taking me on dates, and I like a good meal. So but he kept persevering, and he
Mm-hmm.
did not give up. And when I did get that word from the Lord, I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I have to look over these little boots that you got on, and I guess got to look at I got to overlook this whole outfit right here and just be
Look
okay
over.
with it. I'm look, because if God give you to me, then that means I can redress you. So that part, so
Oh gosh.
it may start off like that,
Right.
but just knowing that we have a choice. We don't. I don't. I don't want us to get so desperate
Right.
because now it's almost like we're in a race.
Mm-hmm.
True.
To
Yeah.
everybody's running, just like I gotta find him. I gotta find him because Jesus come back tomorrow, so I need to get married
Yeah.
today.
Yep.
And that's the way that it's looking. So what do you guys think? Do you think that there's a sense of desperation? There's a sense of
It
quickness.
is.
Maybe I should say there's a sense of quickness out there. What do you guys think about that?
Yes, people. I mean, you listen. I was one of those back when I was maybe in my teenage years. They kept telling me Jesus was coming back, and I said, "Well, God, I don't want you to come back yet, because I haven't had sex yet, and I want to be married." And so
Right.
I
So I
was
need
I was
some
like,
things to
I
happen.
said, I said, can you postpone coming back so I can at least get to experience this? Just at least, for real, I've been
Just at
there.
least one
Like,
time.
like I'm having a conversation with God. God, just wait a little bit longer because I do want to be married and have sex. Like, just wait just a little bit.
Oh Lord
I
Jesus.
so totally
Oh
okay.
Lord.
No, wait a minute. Hold
Just a
on.
little bit.
Wait, hold on.
That is
That's
hilarious.
funny.
I'm pretty sure there's people out there who are, who are doing that now. Listen, I have even had the thought. I got some of the prophecies about God sending me a husband even now to help me
Hmm.
with my ministry. So, but boy, but now they talking about the world coming to an end soon and Jesus on his way back. I said, now hold on, now I got too many prophets that my husband is coming. So that means that somebody lying somewhere.
Well,
Somebody
see,
lying, but then I got 10 prophecies from
soon
10
is
different people about my
relative.
husband, and you talking about Jesus on his way back. So somebody's lying.
Soon is relative because we've been living in the last and evil days for like hundreds of years. So
Hundreds of years we've been
Yeah,
living in the last and evil
yeah.
days.
so soon
But it's
could
getting
be
closer now, though. It's
right.
getting closer. So I know that Jesus, the man he giving me, is part of the end time ministry.
So at least you know what y'all gonna be doing.
Yep.
Right. That part.
Ah,
At least you know
ah,
you gonna be happy.
yep.
And to answer your question, Sharon, more if is there an urgency for people looking to find someone? I think there is, but I think, especially in the body of Christ, I think for women, we aren't taught that we are enough as single women.
True.
And so, if you are single in the church, the question, especially once you pass a certain age, once you pass
Mm-hmm.
25, 30, every time you see someone, the question is, are you married yet?
Yeah.
Are you engaged? And
Mm.
so
Mm.
I think some of the urgency is because of the culture that we live in that doesn't
Yeah.
see us as
That's true.
enough if we
Yeah.
are single. And so
Yeah.
Exactly.
we want to get married so that we can say that we're
Yeah.
married. Not that we're just really seeking companionship, but so that we can say,
Say that
because
we're
it looks
married,
like they might be having fun over
Companionship.
there.
Mm.
but
So let
that
me
may
go
not be
ahead
the
and do
case.
this. Not because I think that my destiny is tied to this person, but just so that I can have sex. Not that I
Right.
think that I have something valuable to add to this man and he has something valuable to add to me, and together in the earth
Yeah.
we can do great
Yeah.
exploits, whether that is business exploits, whether that is ministry exploits, whether that is medical
Mm-hmm.
exploits, whatever God has called us to do, governmental exploits. I'm not seeing our coupling, we're not looking at that kind of thing. We're looking at, like, so y'all can get off my back, you know. So
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not the unicorn in the room. And so we have so many things, so many insecurities that push young women into
Mm-hmm.
marriage and into having
Exactly.
children that
Premature
they
marriage.
despise later, and they
Right.
wish they
And
hadn't done it later. So I think there is an urgency to get married, but I think it's for all the wrong reasons, because we haven't
Yeah.
taught people how to value what marriage is, the beauty that marriage is, and how to handle it. At least
well,
at a young
Yeah.
age, I didn't. I didn't.
yeah. I definitely agree with you, Cheryl, because and you guys can tell me how you feel about this whole thing. We understand, all three of us are ministers,
Mhm.
okay? And we understand and know that we were definitely called by God. We
Right.
know that we were called to minister the word of God, but here
Yes.
we are single.
Mhm.
And that is
Mm-hmm.
one of the most difficult areas
Yep.
to be
Yes.
single and in ministry,
Yes.
because and therein lies as well why some of the ladies go ahead and get married, and even some of the men
Men.
will go ahead
Yep.
and get married just
Yes.
so they can have that position, just so they can
Mhm.
Yes.
have that title or what have you.
Yep.
And that is a difficult place to be, because I always see, people going, oh yeah, I went to this conference, and all the couples are just together and things of that nature. But where is the conference for single ministry?
Mhm.
When
Exactly.
do you get invited to the stage? When do you get
Mm-hmm.
invited to the conferences? Now, I love the fact that love. Now, Evangelist Joyce Rogers,
Mhm.
she did her thing. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? And she was a trailblazer. But it's
Absolutely.
not many of us that are out here. It is not
True.
True.
many of us that, get a chance. I mean, and it's not like we cannot teach and preach the word of God,
Right.
Yeah.
but we're not given that opportunity. And I don't know whether it has something to do with, because we're not married. And what do you guys think about that?
Um.
Mm.
And to be honest, I never thought about. I guess I never thought about it in that way. Um, that me being single was hindering me in any regard in ministry for me, and maybe it has, and I just don't know. But
Yeah.
I never saw my singleness being a
Hmm.
block for ministry. I saw my womanness being a block
That too.
for ministry, but never because I was single. Now, I have some single male friends and
Hmm.
relatives that really got blocked or hindered because in certain circles and certain reformations and certain denominations, you can't pastor as a man. single. And
Mm.
so I know a lot of men got married so that because they felt a call to pastor, they felt a call to ministry, and they did it, got married quickly because they wanted to pastor. But I don't feel that I have ever been hindered because I was single. My bigger hindrances, or I won't even call them hindrances, um, not feeling fully accepted as a minister, as an
Mhm.
elder, or whatever title people wanted to give me, was more
Correct.
of
Correct.
the reason I was female than I
Mhm.
was, single. So, and I never looked at it that way. So I'm maybe the Lord,
I've
sometimes
had
the
a
Lord
little bit of both.
had to hide you.
I've had a little bit of both
Mm-hmm.
in, being able to, travel some.
Right.
Um, and the same way that we make sure that the men are prepared, we have to make sure that the women are prepared
Right.
as well.
True.
And sometimes, we don't always get that.
Mm-hmm.
We,
Yeah.
and I don't know whether that's because here's the thing, we still have some pastors that believe women should not be preaching.
True.
Exactly.
That's very real.
Exactly.
That's
That's
still a
very real.
reality.
Yeah.
Let alone
And
pastoring.
Right.
right,
And because,
right,
to your point, Chrissy, some of them will give you the okay to preach, but they stop it at preaching, and they certainly
Yeah.
don't want you to pastor. So
Yeah.
correct.
there's a whole lot of glass ceilings that
Yeah.
Yeah.
that hinder, or that I won't say hinder. I'm trying to stop saying that women have to deal with and to overcome,
Mhm.
and to be
Mhm.
Yes.
confident in your call. We're gonna have to
Yeah.
do a whole show on, since we are all ministers, what it's
Yeah.
like to be a woman in ministry, what that feels
Yeah.
like to walk into different spaces as
Yeah.
a woman in ministry. But we're gonna do that
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
Uh,
Can I
Hey
add to this?
Traces.
yeah, go
Hey
ahead,
Trace of Tawan's life.
thanks
Can
for
I
joining
wanted
us.
to
Yes,
I wanted
absolutely,
to
Chrissy.
talk on this because so for me, I've been in ministry for 18 years. I actually started my early 20s. I was just getting ready to graduate college when I started preaching. And I know, yeah, I preached and I preached in several churches. I preached, even I would go to some churches and they'd be like, "Oh, she's the speaker." Like I would get that from some people. "Oh, she's the speaker. Why? Is it because I'm young? I got my look because I wore my braids a lot, got my little young braids. I'm coming in a certain way, but then when I preach, you say something different." But I would get that a lot, and so
Mm-hmm.
when I think one of my biggest things, okay, is now I'm a single woman again. I'm divorced, and I'm now pastoring a church, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, and then so I would always say, God, well, maybe it needed to be this way, because when you look at a lot of like the men, they are married or they get married so that
Mm-hmm.
they can pastor.
Right.
They're not just doing it by themselves. They
Right.
have their
Right.
first lady there. And so I'm like,
Correct.
wow, I'm like a single woman that stepped out, that it's not that many of us. And we're
Right.
out there passing, because I had a guy, he was a Haitian guy. He said to me, "You are a rare breed." And I was like, "Well, what do you mean by that?" He says, "You're a young woman and you're pastoring and you're single." He says,
Mm-hmm.
"You don't see that too much." And so it's
Right.
like, yeah, this feeling of like, okay, well, Lord, you told me to do this, you told me to move out there. And
Mm-hmm.
then so my biggest thing now is what I think about, will you draw the people to me, God? Because are they going to be intimidated as me being a young female pastor? Will I get men that will join my church? Will I get men that will be a part because I am a female pastor? Or would they prefer to go sit, So I think I battled that a lot. Just like,
Right.
okay, well, God,
Yeah.
you call me
Yeah.
to it, but are you gonna bring the members in like that? Because I'm literally walking this alone. I don't have a husband. And so
Mm-hmm.
you wonder what are in their minds. Oh, she's a single woman and she doesn't have a husband, none of that stuff, and she's pastoring. Should I not join her church? And so all that stuff is going through my mind. Like, okay, God, what are you doing? I will wake up some mornings now. Okay, God, what are you doing? How are the people feeling? Because I'm a single woman that has stepped out because you told me to go in this path. Because I've been told, why don't you wait till God send your husband? but
Mhm.
I have to do what God's telling me to do. And so
Right.
it's one of those things, because all we've ever seen is, oh, if it's the man that's going forth and pastor, okay, then of course there's usually a wife that's there, or he's gonna take a wife. Or
Mhm.
he'll have a church
Correct.
full of women wanting to be his wife. So it's
Right.
gonna be that whole combination. So it's just one of those things. Like it could be back and forth, because I got people that say, well, I don't really believe in women pastors.
Mhm.
And people have told me that. I
Right.
don't believe in women pastors. I don't even think, and there was one gentleman, he was even interested in me, but you know what he told me? He said, well, if me and you get together, are you gonna let me be over you? Well, of course you're my covering, but I think he wanted to come in and just take over everything.
Okay.
Mm,
And
Okay.
I gave him a look like, bruh, it ain't happening like that.
right. Right.
We're gonna
Right.
Sharon said, the team. The
Right.
team,
Yeah.
the make,
Got to be the
that's what
team.
it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, we're gonna have to do a show just on
Yeah.
that because I don't want to insert it here because there's so
Yeah.
much that
Oh yeah.
goes into that. I really want us to have the time to kind of dig into all of the little intricacies and
Nuances.
all of
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
the ups and downs, the roller coaster ride that it
Mhm.
is being a woman in
Yeah.
ministry. But I wanted to
Hey
address
girl.
this from Lady. Yeah, y'all see her? She's joining us. Um, from Lady Phaedra here. She says
Yeah.
she was ready to start back dating and had to stop and check herself for the simple reason that every man
You
that
need to go
came
back
to
up. You need to read that first
I knew
sentence.
she was gonna
I
say
well,
it,
I'm
need
and then
you
trying
the
to
need to
other
skip
part.
that first sentence.
and I only
Don't,
skipped it because I'm trying. I see our time, and I'm
look,
trying to run
look.
through
Don't let the
it.
devil use you like that. Don't let the devil use you.
Okay,
No, I'm
okay,
telling.
hold up, Deborah. Hold up, hold up.
I knew it was coming.
The saints of God can see and read.
Oh
I want to get the whole
Oh,
question. I want to get the whole
God.
question. She said he
Oh God.
thought. Wait a minute. Okay, every man that came to me, I thought he was the right one, but he was definitely the wrong one. I had to call on my sister and just open up and talk to her. Sharon, y'all hear that? Sharon, I'm gonna say it one more time. Sharon really helped me through my rough times with these men. I love you so much. Y'all hear that? I love you
Oh
so much.
she said you left out the first part.
Right, right.
Sharon is my biggest
oh
mentor.
God.
Yeah, and I wanted
I'm gonna need
to.
all y'all. Look, I'm gonna need all y'all that the Lord done allowed, done used me in. Y'all go ahead and put it in the chat right now. I'm just
Oh,
teasing. I'm teasing. I'm just
I'm about to
teasing.
say, Sharon,
well,
show our
I
diamonds
want to address
small.
her question. I want to address her because that's what we're
Yeah,
talking about on tonight. And so
yeah,
I
yeah,
wanted to
yeah.
pull that up because we're talking
Yeah.
about how to know when that person is the one, how to be able to ascertain it and not be like, so y'all know we women, how we can sometimes be like every date we go on, is he the one?
Mm,
Next week you go on another date, is he the one? Instead of enjoying that
Yeah.
person's company,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
making friendships, and then letting time tell us if
Mhm.
he's the one. And so I'll tell on myself. A lot of times I would be like asking that question, and we haven't even gone out yet. Like I've just gotten the request to go out, and like, oh Lord, is he the one? Like doggone it, go out with him and see if you even like him.
Oh my God, I
See if he's
Right,
got you.
good
That's
company,
right,
you know.
that's good.
right.
See if he's
Or
boring
That's
at
or
least
not.
get a meal. Get a meal.
Give yourself some time, and that could be some of that angst that you talked about earlier, Sharon. Are we rushing the process?
Yeah.
Are we not just saying, hey, even if he's not the one, maybe he's a great friend. Maybe
yeah.
he'll be a great
Correct.
brother in Christ. Maybe
Yeah.
he'll be the
Correct.
one for one of my other friends. Maybe he's not the
Yep.
one for me, but maybe he's the one for
Right.
Chrissy. And if I get to know him, I can say, he would be good for
Chrissy don't
Chrissy.
need no more.
Or, well, apparently she ain't with them yet, so we gonna keep giving her
Thank,
options.
I
thank you,
know.
Cheryl.
We gonna keep
I
giving
think
her
you should
options so she can choose. She will have
look.
plenty to choose from.
Look, she done went through the alphabet. Now she on the numbers. So she no, I'm teasing.
Or they could
Listen,
be. I could say this will be a
look,
great person for sharing. You
look,
know.
look. I just say that because I'm envious of Chrissy. Look, I really want to be Chrissy. No,
She say, share, Christy. All those men you have, Cheryl. No, I'm just-
And I will have something to share with you all later. I'm just not gonna do it on air. Something new.
Whoop, whoop.
woo, the
Okay,
after
we
party.
gonna wrap up right now. So
All right,
Listen, can I share this real quickly? We talking about
sure.
so I was dating this guy, and
Hmm.
I used to like to take the guy, you know, if I'm dating someone, take him around my grandmother, my mom's
Okay.
mom, because she was one of those. I think she was like a Cherokee Indian or something. Honey, she was in that rocking chair. I said, Grandma, I'm gonna bring her by so you can see him. So she would rock it and she would look at it, and all she could say to me is, "Honey, you got to keep moving forward." That she
So
would
she would
straight up
tell
tell me.
you,
Yeah, and so I was dating this guy, and I thought,
love
oh, this is
grandmama.
gonna be something excellent. He had came to my church that Sunday. He had the was in the Lexus, nice new suit, just, and we go out to eat afterwards. And after we sitting there, we eating, enjoying everything, and then so when it came down for us to end it, he gotta say to me, can you take care of your own bill? He said, cause I just got this new suit and stuff, and I
Mr.
put all my
Lexus.
money. He listen, and he borrowed his daddy Lexus. He borrowed the Lexus
Where they do
and
that at?
spent and spent
Daddy,
the
can I use
money.
your car?
Yeah, and
Look,
spent the money
did
on
look,
the
did
suit.
it, did it, did it? Can I
So
So,
borrow
you
your car?
so he couldn't
so
feed you
so
because he was dressed real cute.
because he spent, yep. And so from that day forward, I made sure I don't care who I'm out with that I got my own money just in case he decide he can't pay for my meal.
Yeah, because you can't be
Yeah,
washing
he do
dishes and
that
stuff.
anyway.
And
Yeah,
that's the first
because
thing I said. And listen, I think I
yeah,
only had enough that barely I almost had to get back here and wash dishes over this fool. Like
look,
Everything
done
that glitters ain't gold.
right. Yeah, no, honey.
What were
When
you saying,
when
Sharon?
my mom always said, "Don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing." So
yeah,
therefore, when you go out on these dates, you make sure you got some type of cash, some type of
Hmm.
exactly.
card, or something, so
Just in
that you
case.
will not be stuck like Chuck out there in
Right,
those streets.
right.
Uh-uh.
Exactly.
No, 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 no,
Absolutely,
no. And I can
absolutely.
just go ahead and tell you that would be he would be Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, the
And he
beginning
asked me
and the
out.
end.
He asked me out. I said, boy, this is some craziness. He asked me out on the date.
Woo!
Well, we'll
That's
know that.
funny.
Yeah. That's yeah. I don't have nothing else to say about that.
Yeah, we can't. Did yeah. Oh, would
Okay,
you
Robin says,
date
would
me?
you date
Oh,
you, or does the madness of I'm not enough, not worthy, keep us stuck? Men are attracted to confidence, not arrogance. Um, and it might be arrogance if we say yeah.
see that's that part of the recovering perfection. That's that part
Oh
right
God.
there of the recovering perfection.
Oh man.
Because I would, and that's not arrogant, because I know that through my journey in life that God has been making me, God has been maturing me, God has been molding me to be a person that I'm not going to ask you for something that I cannot produce myself.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking for in a man something that I am not. And so when you ask the question, would I date me? Would I date the male version of me? I guess would be a better way to say yes. I'm a good person. Am I a perfect person? Absolutely not. But am I a good person? Yes, I am.
Yeah.
And so I would date me because life has taught me, number one, who I am in God. Life has taught me who I am, what value I bring to the earth. And so I date because I think I'm good people. That's just
Yeah.
me. How would y'all answer that? And y'all in the audience, y'all
Um,
answered it as well.
Yes, please, please. We would love to hear your comments. But do I would I date me? Well, Robin already knows. Yes, I date me on a regular.
Boom.
I do. I
Oh,
date me on the regular. And if you follow me on any type of social media, you would know that I date me on the regular. You would know that I take myself out to wonderful dinners. You would know
Yes.
that I take myself out to movies. You would know that I drive myself out to nice places and things of that
Absolutely.
nature. So I date me on a regular. And when I tell you I come home happy, I come
What?
home real
Boom.
happy. I be like, "Oh, girl, that was
I love
good.
it.
Did
I
you
love it.
like that? Yes, girl. I really thank you so much. I really appreciated you going out with you. We had so much fun." Yes, so
Yes.
I do. I definitely date me on a regular. So yes, I would date me, and I date me. I take me out,
Yes.
because I love it, and that way too. I meet people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I meet people when I take myself out on date. You know
Mhm.
what I'm
I
saying?
love
So
it.
I get a chance to meet other people, and talk to them and so on and so forth. So it's a really, really good date. Hmm.
Okay. I like it. I like it. What about you,
Yeah.
Chrissy?
Well, I'm learning to date myself. I'm
Okay.
learning to
Okay.
because, after I went through my divorce, it was like I went to started going to movies and out to eat, and it felt awkward to me. It felt awkward,
Mhm.
but now I'm starting to do it a lot more, and it's like, hey, I'm liking this. I'm
Mhm.
liking this whole little thing of just out enjoying it by myself, and so I'm
Yeah.
learning to date me, and I'm liking dating me because I'm making myself the priority now.
I love
Yes.
it. I love that.
Yes.
when I used to, I wasn't making myself the priority. When when I could date myself, I do become that priority because I'm treating me, and I'm doing all, and I'm lavishing myself with things,
Yes.
and
Yes.
Yes.
making myself feel good and confident. So that's why I want to answer that one.
Y'all saw my shout.
Cheryl, I need you to stop shouting over there. Look at you. I just knew you was about to go in on
Did y'all
purpose
see
with
Elder
that.
Marable?
I
We
said,
receive it, Elder Marable. Ha,
look,
Baba.
Hallelujah.
look, you done got to. Don't wait till the battle is over. Shout
Shout
now.
now. I receive that word. I receive
We
it.
sure do.
Oh
We
God.
sure do.
Oh, she said,
Oh
your
God.
tongue will say, I am a prepared wife.
I
I
am a
am a
All
prepared
right.
prepared
wife.
wife.
Mm,
Absolutely.
I am a prepared wife
Absolutely.
in the name of Jesus.
Yes. Hey, Marie, thanks
I
so much for
love it.
joining. Yes, I love that. I
Hey
love that.
Marie. Hey
Hello.
Marie.
Yes, yes, yes.
That was a
Oh
great way to get ready to end this show. That was good. That was real good
Yes.
there.
yes.
And any of you that are on here and you are believing God to send your king, we are touching and agreeing with you that he
Hmm.
is preparing you right now to receive him. And that I love the end part. Hey, Lady Brenda, thanks for joining. I love the end
Yes.
part of what she said, and I'm going to put it back up here because I want, she says, and each of you will know without a doubt.
That
Without a
part.
doubt. Now, that is big for me because if you
Yeah.
all didn't catch the top of the show, we talked about how many times we missed it, how many times we
Yeah.
thought
We
that
got it
man
wrong.
was the one, and we were like so wrong. Like Robin said, we were wrong as two left shoes, just wrong.
Yeah.
But the the surety of knowing
Hmm.
that God has said, okay, okay, I approve of him.
Yeah.
He's good people. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. That's right, Shondo.
Yeah.
That's medicine. That's medicine
Tie my
to
yellow
my
bow tie.
soul.
Look, tie my yellow bow tie. He coming on a Honda, leaving on a Lexus.
Yep.
Yes, Lord.
Hey, Lady
But here's
Patricia.
hi,
Oh
Sister
God.
Patricia. But here's one thing
Hello.
that I want to say as well, because I want to make sure that I want to go back to what you said, Cheryl. We have a choice, and so there are
Yes,
some ladies out here that are content being single,
Yeah, that's true.
absolutely.
and and that's fine. So I don't want anybody to walk away going, "Oh Lord, now I done looked at this show and now I got to go find Boaz. It doesn't
Yeah.
look like he was bozo." No,
Mm-mm.
if you are content in your singleness, then
Yes.
yes, by all means, continue in that way. It is
Yep.
Absolutely.
okay. It is totally okay. There are days I'm content in my singleness because
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have a prison ministry. Uh,
Please don't.
so
Please don't.
no, no, but
Oh man.
but if you are content in your singleness, that's still okay as well.
It
You are
is.
concerned about the things of the Lord. That's what it says in First Corinthians. You are concerned about the things of God, and that's okay.
It
And if God
is.
does send you a mate, yes, you are going to be concerned about the things of your husband. And I think that's sometimes where we get it so wrong, because we sometimes get married and we lose the fact that we
Yeah.
ain't supposed to be in the church all the time. I need you
Right.
to go home,
Thank you.
go to your house,
Yeah.
put on you some short shorts, and
Thought I let that hit
Oh
right
have a
there.
good time with
yeah.
your husband. Right. Have a
Yes.
good time with your husband. You don't
Yes.
have to stay at the church the whole time. Once you
Nope.
become
No.
married, your thought process is to your husband. It is
That's
to
your
your
first
husband. It's
ministry.
not
Yep. That's your
always
first
the
ministry.
usher on the usher board and always in the choir. Go home
Mm-hmm.
to your husband.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that. And yeah,
Mhm.
if you're single and that's good for you, yes, I'm with you. I understand. But if you're ready to get married, yes, go in that vein too.
Yeah.
But don't send your representative.
Right.
Send
That's
who
it.
you are.
Yes. Be
Oh,
you.
Yes.
Thank
Lady
you so
Brenda,
much, Lady
thank you.
Brenda, for sharing
Thank
in your
you.
women's group. I
Yay!
That's
appreciate
awesome.
it. Haven't
Thank
seen
you,
you in a
thank you,
while, but
thank
we
you.
sure love you and appreciate you. Thank you for jumping
That's
on
awesome.
this evening. It
Thank you,
blessed our
thank you, thank you.
souls. Blessed our souls. And so,
Pearl
y'all,
said her flyer said 7:30, so we may have to say that it's Eastern Standard Time for 7:30 and
well, no,
6:30.
remember it was
It was
7:30. It was
IG.
7:30 for Instagram.
IG. Yeah,
We did
IG.
Instagram
It
at
was six.
7:30.
It was 6:30 for Central Standard Time. Remember, Pearl
Oh,
was on
okay,
Central
that's right.
Standard Time.
She's
I'm gonna need y'all to remember that we are an hour behind.
well, no, I was talking
Mm,
about this the 7:30 part. Even if it was 6:30, it would have been IG and not
okay, right.
here. Yeah, at 8,
Okay.
which would have been 7
Woo!
Central.
We so confused.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll make sure that we make that clear, Lady Pearl, that the next time that we do that, we'll make sure that we're really clear on, because I keep forgetting that I have so many of my Central Standard Time friends that do watch. So
Mhm.
we'll make sure to make it clear the next time that we jump on. We thank you for joining us on tonight, ladies. We're going to
Yes.
leave you all. We're going to try to make sure that we kind of wrap this up around an hour, because y'all know all three of us can talk. Praise the Lord.
But we
Exactly.
have so much fun.
We do,
It's
but they
Yes.
so
have to go to
funny.
work tomorrow, so we want them to be
Yeah.
able to grab a meal and not miss that alarm
Yeah.
clock in the morning.
Oh
Oh,
But
God.
look, I'm
thank
gonna
Yes.
be
y'all.
praying for y'all.
Yeah, thank y'all so much. And I'm gonna
Oh,
hit
share.
my one last thing. Um, I know we've been talking tonight about how to know if he's the one. And so I'm going to echo Lady Marable. I pray that when God sends him, if that is your desire, that he presents it in such a way that you do not have any doubt at all. That you know that this is the man that God is partnering with you. And so I pray that if it is your desire to have a husband, and if it is your desire that God would send him speedily. Now, if you don't want him
Hmm.
speedily, then you take that part out. But if you want him speedily, I pray that God sends him speedily, and that you know with a surety that this is the man that God has for you. Again, thanks y'all so much for joining us. If you'd like to be a blessing to us, you can always hit up our Cash App, and let me put it up here. It's also going to show on our outro. You can send it to Cheryl Thomas Speaks, or you can partner with us on our Buy Me a Coffee, buymeacoffee.com/. Cheryl Thomas. You can hit us up there. We love you all with the love of the Lord, and we will
Mm.
see you on next next Tuesday at 8 p.m., which is 7 p.m. Central. So we'll see you all then. Good night.
Bye.
Good
Good night.
night.